to divide the coffee shop episodes. I decided to continue with them. It's like a blog series, but done in a coffee shop. I decided to continue with them because they're enjoyable, and I'm going to make a few changes. I've decided this year I've completed the career segment of for guys that love Asian girls, Impossible Dream, which it became possible. And I've decided that in 2010, the 10th year of this show, the 10th season, that I would go back to the hookup relationship format, and I would take the career part of it and put it on the connecting area, which is known as the Vol video site that will handle the career end of it. Canada Information Channel will not have a break. I'll just continue on that with January, February. The break time is coming up. This is the end of the season this month here. Season 9 comes to a close. The other channels, I have a few other YouTube channels. They will continue as is. There's nothing, no changes. Just this one and the Vault videos. Like I said, I'll take the career segment off of this one and put it on the Vault videos, and just do relationships and the sad attempt in my life to actually hook up with anybody at all will be put on this side here. And that's about it for this. I'm going to try to break these coffee shop episodes down into 5-minute sections, because it's just a hassle to download anything like 20 minutes. Even though I have in my studio has the best internet service in the world, the fastest, the best. So to continue on with topics, my tea. I hate coffee, though I have to drink it sometimes to stay awake. Alright, I got my tea. Now, what's going on in the Middle East? Well, it all started many years ago with, what was it now, Donald Rumsfeld in the United States, Donald Rumsfeld, Dick Cheney, and, what's that president's name? President George Bush in the United States, coming up with a lie to attack Iraq, saying that they had weapons of mass destruction, and they didn't. But the purpose was to take over the oil areas, and George Bush needed to get revenge on the man who tried to kill his father. Saddam Hussein tried to blow his father up for the first Iraq war. It was a car bomb that did not detonate, it just smoked. I think that's providence. I think that's God intervening to stop the death occurring, the explosion, because the FBI would have found out it came from Iraq, and you would have seen Iraq would have got the hell pounded out of it. It would have changed the entire course of history, because then it would have been a legitimate attack. So Donald Rumsfeld, whatever the hell his name is, and Dick Cheney and George Bush decided to attack Iraq. Get Saddam Hussein off his throne, literally kill him. But they did it through lying and cheating, which resulted in thousands and thousands of deaths. It's a complete disaster in Iraq. Hundreds of American children, sons and daughters, dying on the battlefield, being murdered. All these rapes and murders that took place in Iraq. It was just a complete fuck-up disaster. And the way life works is if you lie, cheat, and steal, and do such horrendous things that you bring curses down in your head that just are going to reverberate into the next generation. And that's exactly what happened. It is a spiritual matter. What you do unto others will come back to haunt you later on. Well, here's what happened. After they lied about weapons of mass destruction so they can get the support from their allies and own nation through deceitful means and propaganda to go into Iraq and do the deed that they did do. What happened was Saddam Hussein's top generals escaped death, those who escaped death, and those who had lost power from the takeover, because it went into the other, there's two religious groups, the Shiites and the Sunnis. So one religious group lost power and the other one gained it. The ones that lost power were resentful. They were freaking ticked off, and they took off. They ran away to Syria mostly, or just lying low in the variety of different towns. They were generals. They weren't going to be executed. But they formed a union, and they decided to take back Iraq, take back parts of Syria. Came up later, but they wanted revenge for losing their power. They wanted the power back. They enlisted the aids of these crazy clerics, Muslim clerics, under the guise that this wasn't a building of an Islamic empire. They started forming a propaganda unit which brought people into them, but these were nothing less than a bunch of psychopaths. They formed this military unit, this army, and on the spiritual side of it, as I'm told by my friends who are spiritually inclined, that a demonic general leads the pack, and unless this demonic general is jailed or put away, this new group of people called ISIS will continue to have victories, and that's exactly what's happened 2 years later. It's almost 2 years later now, and it's been victory after victory for them. And because there is such a phenomenon like the gathering, which I call the gathering of the psychopaths, it's where psychopaths around the world, they see a calling to do something, to be part of some type of mission, and they get together every so generations to form into united bodies to attack and destroy and cause massive destruction for selfish ends. They hijacked the Muslim religion, and they're using that, although it could have been political. The last time this happened was in Nazi Germany. You remember World War II, Imperial Japan, Nazi Germany. This was the exact same thing, this gathering of the psychopaths to wreak havoc upon the earth. And this occurred in World War I, the Napoleonic Wars before that, and it continues on and on and on. Or way, in the way back in the day. Because people tend to believe that there is a spiritual aspect to life, that there are spirit beings who are mentally deranged and filled with hate and warlike. You can be as atheist as you want. You turn off from here if you can't accept that part. But you gotta ask yourself one question: how did ISIS, this band of misfits, overtake armies of the entire world and beat them and still remain in power? It's because, as I said before, my friends, my spiritual friends in the spirit, I don't know how to put it, have said that there's demonic generals involved here, and they're helping to win the battle because they're guiding, they're causing fear into the others. But there will eventually be a takeover in the Middle East, that the European countries will come down, and I mean the European countries, even the European descendants, will come down into the Middle East in the future, somewhere around 2045, somewhere 2050, somewhere around there. This will be another type of crusade. What you're seeing is the beginning of this situation take place. It was brought on by the descendants of the Europeans through lies and deceit, but it's now going to become, it's just going to get worse. As time passes, things are going to get a lot worse, a lot more dangerous. You haven't seen anything yet, but as far as ISIS goes, I can't see that they're not going to win. The evil general is eventually going to be apprehended, imprisoned probably by God. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. But it won't end ISIS, and it won't end the murders. I mean, you're going to see ISIS pretty well be beaten down to hell, but you're not going to see the general psychopaths spread throughout the earth. They're not going to quit. They're not going to stop. And as long as you got the free internet continuing on, they're going to be able to promote the propaganda. Which leads me to my next topic. There's an AI being invented, which is going to eventually be hooked up to the internet, and this machine will be able to hunt down ISIS and these internet systems to bring them to a close. But then there's the Ethernet. These are localized messages and sent, by an internal computer system that doesn't rely upon the internet, and it just goes from one location to another. But anyway, the propaganda will continue. You will still get homegrown psychopaths joining this fake Islamic group who's bent on committing murders. The Europeans eventually will get tired of all this bullshit they got to put up with. The European nations, that includes Australia, New Zealand, Canada, United States, Mexico, places like this. Anywhere the Europeans went and settle, they'll eventually get tired, and you'll see the Europeans run down into the Middle East and take over the whole damn place. And that's it for this round of coffee shop segments. As I said, it's probably pretty long. I'm going to try and break it into 5-minute pieces. Anyway, that's it. In the coffee shop. Oh yeah, let's see if I can find a song to go with. Old music. I've already played that one. Alright, a song for tonight. Oh yeah, and happy holidays to those of you who celebrate. I don't celebrate Christmas. This is like my family's divided on it. My mother's side, no, but they don't celebrate Christmas. On my father's side, yes, they do. So I won't be celebrating Christmas. I can't see myself doing it in the foreseeable future. But I do appreciate the holidays for what they are. I will be celebrating New Year's. I'm going to a friend's party for that. And I'll have to go to the parents' house for Christmas dinner. So that's it for now. This is mood music going out. Remember, when the picture fades down, that means click on this and you'll get your alternate video. Okay, that's it for now. See you next week from Calgary, Alberta, where the Bangladesh Mud Surfers will be performing for the final time, except putting together music for me when I need it. Okay, that's it. Sayonara. Oh yeah, I got to show you this. Finally bought my violin, which I said I'd buy. Here. I call her Olivia, after my favorite singer. No friggin' clue how to play a violin. It's definitely not. It's definitely not a like a guitar, is it? 4 strings. I almost bought a little kid's one. They looked at it and they said, well, that's for children. So I ended up buying this one. And I have no friggin' idea how to play it. I did learn how to rosin a bow off the internet. So I figure I'll figure out how to play this. Later. God, it's very deep. Maybe I need more rows. But I love the rich sound of it. Anyway, I'll figure it out eventually. I just don't have time. It's like, oh my God, you work so hard. And already killed one relationship. And I'll try to get some time to figure out how these things work. I thought about, there's a guy's name on this, like Stradivarius. So I had to sandpaper it off and write in Olivia. So that's it for now. We will see you later from the coffee shop.
Ready, set, and go. It's ignition. That's it. Let's rock. Hounds of fame. Rock the house into deep. The bass. Okay. Push it.